Hey there, kiddos. I'm Meghan Sullivan, alongside fellow Borderlands fan John Ryan.
Hi there.
John, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm great, especially after this weekend.
Right. So this weekend was pax-south, and Gearbox actually had a panel this weekend, which everyone was super excited for.
Yep.
And the reason we were all excited for it was we were hoping we would hear a little bit something about Borderlands 3,
Yeah.
which in a way we did.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's definitely the future of the franchise.
Right. So the CEO and president of Gearbox, Randy Pitchford, actually sent out a call to action. So it was kind of in two parts. So
Yep.
one was, if you like to make games, if you know how to make games, they would love you to be part of the Gearbox family. So they actually want to expand their development team.
I thought that was just such a class move. Like,
Yeah.
great job.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And second, Randy Pitchford wants our input on the next Borderlands game.
Which is a great and bad idea.
Depending on how this goes. Let's do good ideas. So let's talk
Yeah.
about what we want to see in Borderlands 3. So for example, I would love for it to take place on a new world. I feel like
Totally.
we've seen everything on Pandora there is to see. We went
Yeah.
to the moon, we got to go to Helios.
Yep, we've
I
seen
like
all
to
the
see
space stations floating around it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that a new planet would actually be perfect because then we can explore new environments and there can be different, I mean, like on the moon there was zero gravity.
Yep, and the cool thing too is they've already established such a rich lore in the last 3 games
Right.
that they can take characters and like elements from that, and that, like, I mean, like let's say the harvesting of iridium. Like, oh look, this new planet has iridium on it too.
Right.
So you could very easily like jump locations without sacrificing any of those great character relationships or any of the established lore of the series already. which is
Yeah,
great.
and because there seem to be vaults in all these different places,
Right.
then it's totally possible to go to another planet.
Yep.
So something else I was hoping for was a little more customization for the guns.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you'd get a really cool gun, like one of my favorite guns in Borderlands 2 was a sniper rifle with corrosive elements to it. And I loved that gun, but once I leveled up, I jumped from like say level 15 to level 17, it
Right.
felt like that gun was no longer
Well,
as powerful and useful.
You're kind of at the mercy of random drops.
Right.
Which I think in a lot of ways is cool because like I would always be finding new things and sorting through new loot when, you would find, 1 out of 10 times that new thing where like, yes, this is what I wanted ever. But then you're also like, man, I really love that assault rifle with corrosive damage I had. It's just a pity that it only does, 50 damage as opposed to the 120 that I can get with this new assault rifle. But I really want that one that I used to have. So like the ability, if they gave us the chance to, hang on to a weapon that we really liked, like let's say I had an assault rifle that had like a really great fire rate bonus or a good reload speed buff.
Right.
That would be great, but let me just have that and then, pick and choose
Right, and
my
I feel like
add-ons.
it'd be cool to sort of find these add-ons. That would be
Yeah.
part of the whole looting
And-
thing. It's like, oh, this is really cool. I can
Yeah,
add this
and-
to my rifle, and it'll make it even cooler.
Yeah, you kind of saw it a little bit in the pre-sequel with the grinder machine,
Right.
where it's like, all right, I've got 3 things with the, the corrosive damage
Yeah.
that I don't really want, but
Or
I have
don't
this
really
one
need.
assault rifle that doesn't have corrosive damage, but it's got a high fire rate. So maybe if I cram the 3 of those together, I'll get a good at firing, a well-firing assault rifle with corrosive damage.
Yeah, I agree
But
that they're
then
on the right
sometimes
idea.
maybe you won't
but
get that.
Yeah,
so.
it was frustrating because you would go through all this and you'd be like, all right, Grinder, give me something good. And you'd be like, oh, I already have
Yeah,
that. Or,
and
you know what,
it's-
that's not what I wanted.
It spits out like a repeater pistol with
Yeah, and you're
like,
just like, nope.
with like ice power, and you're like, but no, there was no freeze power in any of the things I put into you.
Yeah, so we definitely want that. How do you feel about new characters? Or do you think that there should be a continuation of with the characters we already know? Because we have like 8 characters already introduced over 2 games.
I love the characters that we already have, and I think that they're really well established. What I'd kind of like to see them do is sort of almost like a Saints Row vibe to it, where as opposed to having like, Salvador's the Gunzerker and he's the only person that can play like this class, like,
Right.
If they've got the bandwidth, like let me have a character creator in
Right.
there. Like let me make my own Gunzerker. Like choose a class, choose whoever, but then let me create my own character and see how I personally interact in this world as opposed to like Zero who goes around without saying anything.
Right, so you have like customization, you can customize maybe skill trees as well.
Right.
So you could have like a Siren Gunzerker. I'm just throwing this out as
Ooh,
an
that'd
example.
be fun. That'd
yeah,
be fun.
so
Like double
being able to-
classes, that'd be really interesting.
Yeah,
Because you
that would
kind of
be
had that with
cool.
Claptrap in the last one, where all of his special abilities were like amalgamations of the other ones. So like you got like the Funzerker where he'd like get infinite ammo and double guns,
Right.
or he'd have like the Necromancer's like tech ability.
Right.
So I thought that was cool, and again, it's a step in the right direction. So I feel like if they really put that control in your hands or in our hands,
Yeah.
I think that'd be a super cool addition.
Yeah, I think going forward, that is something that should definitely happen.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about this. Some of the issues we had with the other Borderlands games was like pacing. That was
Yeah.
a major issue. So,
Yep.
I mean, you'd have like in the pre-sequel, we talked about how, you know, you'd have to run back and forth opening doors
Yeah.
and then
Can
you have
we
to
just-
do this and this. Can we just
Can we add continuity or lore that is just like everyone on this planet knows how to make a functioning door?
Yeah.
And if the door breaks, there's like a manual override right there.
Or
It's
a
not a
skeleton
mile
key or
away.
something.
Or a skeleton key. That'd be great. Like
Yeah.
if you're gonna play through it again on True Vault Hunter mode, let's
Right.
say, like, congratulations, you beat the final boss. You're in your first playthrough. Here's a skeleton key to every door in the game.
Yeah, I'd also like functioning vehicles because that was a little bit of a problem. It's like, hey, here's your moon buggy or whatever, and you're
Yeah.
like, no, I don't make me ride the
Well,
Stingray.
that's the thing.
and
Is
all
like I
that.
love the design of those vehicles.
Right.
I think they're really cool. It's just like getting the wonkiness of driving them around is getting a little bit old.
Right.
But I feel like, you know, if they can beef up the controls a little bit on those, and, you know, give us more diverse option for vehicles, because like you really only have the two.
Yeah.
You got, you know, in the last one, for example, you had the moon buggy, and then you had I forget the name of the floating ones.
The Stingray.
The Stingray.
I think it was
that's
called
the
the
one.
Stingray.
You get a Stingray, you get a moon buggy, and like they each have like two options. Like
Right.
I would like to drive like a tank, or like a motorcycle, or like an ATV or something.
Right, but not just diversity. I just want it to work because
Well,
sometimes
yeah,
they're
that too.
difficult to
I feel like
control.
that we say that of every game though. It's
Right.
like this game looks really cool. I really hope it works.
That's true. Okay, so if we talk about story-wise, would you like to see a return of a villain like Handsome Jack? Would you like something totally different?
What I would actually really like to see, I thought Handsome Jack was an amazingly written character and a really great villain.
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel like he's kind of like worn out.
Right,
his-
because he's,
his
you know,
run.
he's been in Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel,
Yeah,
and now
we're
Tales
getting-
from the Borderlands.
Yeah, we're getting hints of Tales from the Borderlands too, and I think like that, like keep him in the game,
Mm-hmm.
like as like either an homage or a reference or an Easter egg, but I don't think he should be like the focal point villain. I'd like to see maybe like more small scale villains. Like there's not necessarily one huge villain,
Right.
but like with in pre-sequel, for example, it's the most recent one that I've played, so it's fresh in my mind. With the Mariff, the mayor-sheriff
Right.
combination, you met him and they introduced him as this corrupt government official who was kind of ruining everybody's lives.
Right.
And then he's dead in a cutscene.
Yeah.
And it's like I would like to see that on like a bigger scale. Like maybe take it in the form of like Mass Effect, where you have a bunch of different locations that you have to go to, and each one has like, you know, a boss who is not just like a random Borderlands style boss where it's like deadlift, like go kill that guy because he's a jerk.
Yeah.
And like, okay, fine, I guess I will. But like really introduce them all as like almost like a Suicide Squad of Borderlands villains.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, or like the Borderlands Legion of Doom. I think that'd be super cool.
I would go along
Right?
with that, you know,
Yeah.
and they have all sorts of possibilities. I
Oh,
mean,
of course.
I would love to see the return of Blake.
Oh,
You hear- I'm like, I think he should take over Hyperion and maybe
That'd
be
be
the start
interesting.
of, you know,
Yeah.
the next Legion of Doom, that kind of thing.
Yep.
Where I'm like, you know, there's so much to work with.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, or they could take, you know, current hero characters and like, you know, this is getting a little bit high concept, but like see what happens when the heroes fall to the dark side. And like
Right.
I would like to see
Because
that.
they're already
like,
kind of dark. I mean, they're all kind of weird
oh
and
yeah,
kind of
but like
on the
what
edge
happens like
everywhere.
when Lilith really finally does go completely insane?
Which brings me to one more thing that I want to see, which is I want to see more character interactions between the character that you choose
Yep.
and the other side characters. I thought it was a little frustrating when it's like, you know, Maya's a siren, she wants to know more about sirens, and she
Right.
finally interacts with Lilith and
And that's
nothing.
it. It's like, hi, how are you?
Yeah, it's like, wait a second, can't we
Yeah.
talk shop? I mean, having that individual dialogue I
Yeah.
know is a pain, and
Well, and that's the thing. Like you'll see it. Like they'll have individually recorded dialogue. So if you're playing through solo or if you're playing with other people, like they'll give you like a randomized grouping of
Right.
conversation, like audio bites. But there's nothing really furthering that in like a character
it
sense.
doesn't really expand on the story.
Yeah,
so
it's like
you
a
know, even when
one-off
Handsome
joke and
Jack
then back
is
to
like
the run
yelling at
around.
you, he's not really yelling at you specifically for being a siren or a gun
Right, he's
circle.
just
I mean,
kind
there's
of yelling in
there's
general.
some stuff that is specific, but overall, it's like it could be anyone.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see more specific dialogue.
Yeah, I think
between
that'd be really
characters.
cool. Like really dive into like, you know, who these characters are and like what makes them tick.
Right.
But also how they respond to you as a player.
So those are our ideas for Borderlands 3. What are some of your ideas for Borderlands 3? Let us know in the comment section below, or you can tweet at us. I'm Meghan_IGN. John Ryan, you are.
I'm at US of JR.
And for all your Borderlands 3 needs, keep it locked here on IGN.